Well, folks, even one of China's top scientists is admitting that we cannot rule out that the C-19 virus came from a lab leak in Wuhan. Unflipping believable. Anybody want to make a call to Dr. Fauci now, or should I just go ahead and call him myself? Now, this is a huge deal, guys. Here's my question. Did you ever believe when Dr. Anthony Fauci said that it did not come from a lab? Just comment a quick yes or no down below on that one. Now, we seem to be at the end of the road when it comes to the debt ceiling, although some lawmakers say that this should not push through. Now, one of them is Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who very passionately believes that cutting spending is a very bad idea. Do you agree that cutting spending is a bad idea? Seriously? The FBI director Christopher Wray may be held in contempt as he surprisingly did not cooperate with a request from the House to provide a document that could possibly be used as evidence against then President Joe Biden regarding a $5 million bribery scheme. Now I wonder why he's being held in contempt compared to just providing a file. Do you guys have any clue as to why Wray would do something like that? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that the government has too much control over what we say and even controls some social media platforms. He says that if he's elected next year, this is the first thing that he would change. Do you guys believe that news outlets within our country follow a narrative based on orders? I think you guys are pretty smart on that. You guys know what's up. And do you think that the narrative is meant to control the people? Ukraine is now preparing for their huge counteroffensive by announcing exactly what they're going to do. Wait, wasn't it supposed to be a secret plan? And Russian President Vladimir Putin is going to stay put in his country as he fears that visiting other countries at this time may place him in an international crime court, although some leaders are willing to look the other way. That country is South Africa, also part of the BRICS nations. Alright guys, no time to waste here. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below. And I hope that you guys realize that gold has recently surpassed the $2,000 price point per ounce. This thing is running, so make sure to check out the best way to invest in gold or silver in the link in the description down below this video.
What this debt ceiling debate really is about is the fact that they have run up a bill, Republicans have run up a bill that they now do not want to pay. They have run up this bill with extremely excessive military spending. They have run up this bill with extraordinary tax cuts for the wealthiest people in this country. And now when it comes down to time to pay for this bill, they do not want to pay it. And not only that, but they are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much.
That was Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying that we're spending too much to defend our country and that we're not providing enough for the people. Now, AOC seems to be confused about Social Security checks as she believes that this is money that is coming from the government and not something that we paid into. But yes, I agree that not enough is being done for Americans, but if you watch the entire clip, she really doesn't provide any solutions, just a whole bunch of yapping. Do you guys think that Democrats are spending way too much of our taxpayer money? Now, some question whether or not AOC even read the debt limit deal, with others saying that she's just basing it off of previous information that may have changed. Now, it's also worth noting that she's already said that she would never vote for a debt ceiling deal that includes work requirements for government benefits. Now, on the topic of change, a top scientist in China may have just caused a ripple effect of change when it comes to the perception of how the C-19 virus came to be. Former director of China's Center of Disease Control and Prevention, George Gao, he said that the lab leak theory cannot be disregarded. Now, this goes against what we've heard multiple times from Dr. Anthony Fauci and from the Chinese government, and it's something that many conspiracy theorists have also already suspected. Man, what is it about conspiracy theories and how they suddenly gain more traction as time goes by? What do you guys make of this? Does this mean that the lab leak theory has more to stand on now? Now, moving on, FBI Director Christopher Wray is standing his ground and saying no to House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer regarding a document that they're already asking for. One that could very well implicate then Vice President Joe Biden in a pay-to-play scheme that involved $5 million. Now, I guess Wray would rather be held in criminal contempt of Congress rather than hand over this file. The FBI has said that they're willing to provide Comer access to the document, although it would be in private in order to protect the confidentiality and the safety of their sources. This, however, was not enough for Comer. Well, according to him, quote, while Dr. Wray, after a month of refusing to even acknowledge that the form existed, has offered to allow us to see the documents in person at FBI headquarters, we have been clear that anything short of producing these documents to the House Oversight Committee is not in compliance with the subpoena. If the FBI fails to hand over the FD 1023 form as required by the subpoena, the House Oversight Committee will begin contempt of Congress proceedings, end quote. Now, I want to ask you guys, was it enough for Wray to offer to have this file be seen in private? Or is this something that the American public should also see? And if so, should he be held in contempt? Now, speaking of accountability, Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he says that something has to be done regarding how social media companies are pressured to do what the government wants. Case in point, with Twitter, as RFK agreed with Elon Musk that they're not being given much of a choice. So here's a tweet. Quote, Elon Musk says Twitter has no actual choice about government censorship requests. He is pretty much correct. Private companies can resist, but governments can shut down platforms like Twitter or fine them into oblivion. Enough. I'm going to put a stop to that, at least in the United States, hashtag Kennedy24, end quote. So basically, RFK is saying that if you want freedom of speech and you want your government to stop changing the narrative as they please, then vote for him in 2024. Do you believe that he stands a chance against President Joe Biden? And do you guys believe that the Ukraine's counteroffensive will be as successful as they tout it to be? The commander-in-chief of Ukraine's armed forces is saying the time has come to take back what is ours. Now, this is a clear indication that the counteroffensive may come at any time, although I'm a little bit confused as to why they would want to announce it like this. I guess they don't need the element of surprise. Now, this next bit is surprising. This is about South Africa and how a government official has discussed how they're going to go about a visit from Russian President Vladimir Putin, given that there's an arrest warrant out for him. So South Africa is between a rock and a hard place, as they're members of both the BRICS nations and the ICC, meaning that they would be somehow required to arrest Putin if he does decide to visit for the BRICS summit this August. So do you think that the powers that be in South Africa would arrest President Putin? Of course not. And they're now already thinking of ways to move the summit to China so as to avoid this conflict of interest. So what do you guys think of all of today's updates? Make sure to hit me up in the comment section down below. You know something that you and I can't avoid these days? The high cost of every single freaking thing in the market. Grocery shopping used to be fun, but for some of us, it's become a real problem. How many of you guys are now forced to cut down on your expenses? How many are using credit cards or taking out loans? And how many of us want to change all this? Change, as you know, it starts with you. Now, if you drop me a comment down below and you ask how to improve your financial status, then congratulations. That is step number one. Now we can go on to the next steps by talking about cash flow, developing side hustles or home-based businesses, small businesses to help generate multiple streams of income. And with that, we can then move on to wise investments, especially in the real estate market, the stock market, and even investments in precious metals like gold and silver. So again, it all starts with you. So feel free to go into the description of this video and check out the links, the helpful links that I've left for you guys there. Also, at this point in the video, you should see two videos here and here. Check out those videos right now, right after this video. You can just go ahead and click on those right there. Now, before I go, please do me a huge favor, drop a like for this video and share this video with all of your friends. Appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel for your daily dose of the truth. Thank you for all the love, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.